Here we are then, back for another episode of the Aston Martin Road to Glory, and yet again you guys absolutely smashed the like target which I set of 1,000 likes. I think we got over 1,200, so yeah, fair play guys, well done. And I would actually keep the streak going, but tomorrow we have F1 23 gameplay, so stay tuned. Get subscribed because it's going to be very, very, very exciting, and I can't wait to get started with that new game. So this is going to be the last episode for a couple of days. I've got a few big videos planned over the weekend, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, let's get into it. The Italian Grand Prix at Monza starts off with us choosing a new rival. If you haven't seen the last episode, go check it out. Link in the top right, guys, for the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. But yeah, we're going to get into business now, and spoiler warning. So first things first, confirmation, the diffuser upgrade has arrived, which is great. That is, I believe, a major one, so that's going to help us out quite nicely. We have 2,400 points to spend, which we're going to invest in the overwheel winglets, which is a minor, but it opens up the next upgrade, which hopefully we can try and push on for. We also get the rear float undertread, which is a major one. And yeah, the car package this weekend is vastly improved. We have a much stronger package. No rain forecast, so let's see what other teams have done in terms of developments, and you can see we're still last, but the overall gap has closed to Ferrari, so the field spread again getting tied to Mercedes, bring a big upgrade of their own, closing the gap to the prancing horses. Alpine up to third now, overtaking Red Bull, and that is a pretty big issue if you consider they're our rivals for fifth in the Constructors' Championship, so that's not looking good. Anyway, with the upgrade we just purchased, plus the one we have on the way already, we have another couple of upgrades planned for the next race. And to be fair, this is a crucial phase because I believe there's a whole month until the next race, so there's going to be a lot of development going on between this race and the next one. So the start of the next episode will be very, very key and stacked full of dev work as we look to hopefully really close the season out with a much stronger car. Anyway, with that said, practice ongoing in the background. We breezed through the programs and the car felt pretty good, not gonna lie, it felt pretty decent. We've got some underfloor damage which I'll adjust for the qualifying and the race by increasing the ride height a little bit. Tyre wear was excellent, under 1%, and also fuel consumption pretty low as well, so lots of positive signs. And we also got a big fat batch of points and also some actual productive discounts like the side pod turning vanes, the roll dampers, and yeah, that's the sort of discounts we want. Not so much, you know, durability work or fuel efficiency, it's more about performance, and that's the sort of discounts we got, so very happy with that. But yeah, we're going to jump into qualifying here at Monza, and we're going to see if we can put our pace to the test and see exactly where we are. We didn't qualify last race as we had to take a penalty for the engine, so yeah, hopefully this time we have a nice smooth session and things go according to plan. So here we are, currently on my first time the lap, and admittedly this wasn't a great lap, but it wasn't a terrible lap. It was a pretty fair banker. We invalidate though into Ascari, so I actually very quickly just basically turned the engine down, just let the tyres cool down a little bit, let some traffic go by, and we went again for a second push lap. You can see we're literally identical.
Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining.
And now making our way on the exit of the Ascari chicane. You can see we're now finding that lap time, of course, where we backed off on the last run. But yeah, it was pretty much neck and neck with the last lap, so this is a pretty fair, indication of our true pace as we make our way through the parabolica, making our way up to the start finish line, and we're going to see exactly what our bank lap is going to be, a 1:18.9. We match Bottas, but we're half a second off our teammate, and not just that, we are 8 tenths, 7.5 tenths off getting into Q2. So yeah, it's a pretty tall order, I'm not going to lie. We're in a bit of trouble, so I made some adjustments, but the lap got off to a horrible start as we got crossed up twice out of the final corner, and yeah, we've dropped half a tenth on the pit straight alone, which isn't ideal. Anyway, I'm going to get everything all or nothing, just go all out and leave it all out there. So first chicane, third gear, try to tackle without touching the curbs, get the power down as we absolutely nail it, zero wheel spin, and we find a load of time with that exit. Sector 1 done, into sector 2 now. We're going to try and spot the 100 down to fourth gear and try to avoid the inside curbs again here to get the drive smooth on the power through there, as we have a little bit of wheel spin, but for the most part pretty decent. into the Lesmos. We nailed these on our last run, so there's not a lot of time to find here, as we do find a little bit in the first one and a little bit more in the second one, but no more than about 600ths. And now down the back straight, approaching the troublesome Ascari chicane. Let's see if this time we get through. We're going to try and take it in 6th gear. Nobody actually dipped down to 5th, but we invalidate again, and we go for the spin, and that's going to be the end. Yeah, we're struggling in qualifying, man. This car, when driven on the limit, isn't fun to drive. It feels very nervous, very unpredictable, and I'm not a big fan. So, yeah, qualifying done, a P19, Stroll 17th, but we was 8/10 off our teammate and pretty much a second away from getting through. So, really not what you want. I don't have an answer. We're just off the pace. And we had a double upgrade on it. Didn't do anything. So, yeah, hopefully the race is better. The practice pace looked encouraging, but qualifying has surprised me how slow we were. So I hope it's just a one-off and we're actually strong enough in the race to compete. But yeah, it's not looking good. And this 4-week break that's arriving after this race couldn't come soon enough. Anyway, qualifying done. Let's get into the race.
Welcome back to one of only 2 countries that has held a race every year since the very first Formula One World Championship in 1950. It is, of course, Italy, one of the great racing nations, and it's time to get underway for the Italian Grand Prix. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest track in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some close action. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, George Russell and Hamilton, Ocon, Norris, Ricciardo and Nicholas Latifi, Magnussen, Albon, Yuki Tsunoda and Vettel, Joe, Stroll, Mick Schumacher and Martinez, Gasly, they've taken a grid penalty, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you here with us today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So here we are then, time for the main event. I'm not going to lie, I thought we had a bit more pace than what we showed in qualifying. And I'm a little bit concerned we might be on the back foot. I can't quite tell. Practice was decent looking, but qualifying did surprise me. So, you know, even with that better lap that we didn't actually improve with, it wouldn't have changed much. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, strategy for this one is going to be a medium to hard tire strap. I've gone for 1.2 laps extra fuel. That should be okay here. I don't really remember having trouble with fuel around here. The key thing is tire pressures. So I've gone 2 on the front, which is a bit lower than usual, but 5 on the rear because this circuit is very rear limited. So I want to make sure I have better rear tire wear, as that might help us later on in the stint. But yeah, as for the race, I don't know what to expect, man. It's going to be an interesting one. The team said, I think, about 48 kilos in terms of fuel load for the race. So, yeah, we'll just go with 1.2 to be safe. And hopefully it goes well. But, yeah, I don't know what to expect. So leave a prediction down below, your thoughts and opinions. And, yeah, we'll jump into it. And we'll see if we can try and somehow turn this one around. Perfect. Right. Let's get to it. Let's try and have a good first lap. That will really help us out. Not a good start. Second phase, you just heard the wheel spin kick in as we're going to try and hold the inside line. Oh my god, that's debris being scattered about everywhere, so we will try to avoid, as a virtual safety car has been deployed.
Caution, the virtual safety car has just been deployed due to build-up of debris on the track.
Got an illegal on Sonoda, but to be fair, that was a great start. The timing on that VSC was perfect. We just managed to jump 3 cars, so that's helped us out nicely. Sonoda's got wing damage, so we're going to have to pass him straight away here, and we cannot afford to faff around. But it looks like we're not going to get a full safety car, so it will stay virtual. So we'll have to get ready to overtake Yuki, and not sure there'll be any other cars ahead with possible wing damage, but just got to be ready for all scenarios. Also trying to maintain some tyre temp here. But decent start, and we'll pass Yuki, so that will be P14 for us. So happy with that. We'll see how the race goes, though. This is a very, very unique race. You don't have to be fast, just fast enough to stay in the DRS zone, and then just be very smart with your timing and your overtake. So basically, don't just try and go for broke, wait for the AR to make a move or make a mistake and then overtake. And that's what it's all about. You know, if you want to try and break away from DRS.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending. Wait for the greens.
If you want to try and break away from DRS, you've got to try and overtake at the right time. As Charles Leclerc is in the pit lane, we're going to stretch our legs here. Not quite able to get a toe, but we're closing in. This could be interesting. Oh my god. These AI, man, are honestly so ridiculous. Vettel's got a 5-second time pen. Why did the AI do that? Sonoda just weaved across on me there in the braking zone. We're going to pit for repairs. There's no way we're going to survive.
Strategy available on the MFD. Okay, copy that.
Well, we'll make sure Sonoda doesn't overtake, because that wasn't very nice, although he's got damage of his own, to be fair, so karma, I guess. Sonoda going for the pass. Looks like it's a race into the pits. Not ideal. Clearly, whatever damage he's got, he's able to take the Parabolica. A bit better than me, but anyway. We need a safety car now to get us out of this mess. That's pretty much what we can hope for at this stage. That's just unfortunate, but it's the way it is. Come on, boys. Got to be quick here. Come on, come on, come on. I've been held. I even lost time. I got held for so long. Anyway, let's just drive, basically.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
And we'll try and get to the end, but we still need a safety car, regardless. We're in no man's land right now, so we'll just have to drive and hope for the best.
Gap to your teammate ahead is 28.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in 15th. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 21.8.
Okay, half a second faster than Stroll. He's in a small battle, but doesn't seem to be losing time, so at least we're faster than our teammate. Yellow flag. Through turn 3, McLaren. Let's see if we get a safety car. This could maybe bail us out. It's Lando. He's pulling over now. Hopefully we get a safety car. Nope, looks like we're not getting nothing. We got one last race, to be fair, so I'm not too confident we'll see another one today, but you never know. Either way, Lando out of the race. So that will give us P19 in this race. Still a long way to go.
Okay, be aware there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
So we may still get lucky.
Lance is in for his stop.
That's the only one. He's the only car to pit. I wonder if maybe Lance got damage. Not sure. Well, that is an early stop. Unless he started on softs maybe, but I don't think he did. Either way, he's onto the hard tyre and he'll now be behind us. Pace is still pretty decent, pretty consistent pace, but we're just so far back. Okay, now cars are pitting. So over the next 2 laps we'll see everyone eventually in and out, but I still think we're pretty much nowhere, to be honest. Maybe like 15th or 16th once everyone eventually pits, because there are a few cars who are 2-stopping, but we'll see. We're going to be close here with Bottas and Vettel. They're going to rejoin just ahead of us, but they'll be on cold tyres. Maybe we could just sit behind them in the DRS. That would be something. Haven't quite been able to get DRS here. These two have kept me just out of range. So we're using up the battery reserves here to make sure we get in DRS. So that would be a nice help. More cars in the pits this lap, including some of those two stoppers, I think. But we've got DRS now finally, which is nice. That's going to help us a little bit. So Schumacher pits, he was a two-stopper, and we've got more cars up the road. Let's try and settle in between or behind these two more like. And looks like Leclerc's in the pit lane now. Tsunoda as well. Leclerc already rejoins ahead, so he's already gained a pretty big gap. So P16 is the best we can do, I think. Pace, by the way, from the AI is very strong. Maybe because they've got fresh tyres and I'm starting to wear, but I thought I felt okay, but clearly the fresh rubber makes a big difference. So we're holding on, but I don't know how long it's going to last. The good news is that I think I'll get these tyres to the end. So if you look at the mini-map, pretty much down to turn 1, all these cars on this straight, I think at the front of the train, that's points. So if we...
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
If we all stay tight and the train kind of forms up naturally, I mean, you never know, things should happen because the AI battle won't do stupid things. So we'll get these tyres to the end. The question is now, can we keep up, and crucially, can this train bunch up? That would be the ideal scenario. So pretty much the first car going to the Lesmo right now, we need that group or that pack of 3 or 4 cars to battle, fall into all of these cars behind and just have one big massive DRS train. Then we've got a chance, because the second the AI go for like a half a move overtake, that gives us an opportunity to strike, and we can basically gain places while staying in the DRS train. So could be race on here. So Charles Leclerc's caught up to that next train of cars, which has 3 other cars in it, a Williams, an Alfa Romeo and the Haas. And now we're in a sort of 4-car battle being led by, I believe it's one of the AlphaTauris. So yeah, if we can just merge up, could be game on here. And so we outbrake ourselves a little bit into turn 1 there. Just missed the downshift. Bottas struggling to hold on here. I don't know if he's going to have DRS or not. No, he doesn't. Meanwhile in front, Gasly passed by Sebastian. Big back into turn 1 now though, it's all kicking off. Let's see if things go our way.
Yellow flag.
Ooh, okay. That's Zhou Guanyu. A late safety car now would be a game changer. Would have liked for it to be like Leclerc or something. Oh, Zhou pulls over. Damages.
The track is clear, green flag.
And we're going to go straight through. We'll take that. Thank you very much. Lovely stuff. Not sure if we'll have the pace to actually stay in front, to be honest with you. Might just have to let Seb back through, but either way, we'll take it. And in a blink of an eye, we'll P12. If anything else happens ahead, we're going to be right there. We need those 4 cars in front to really battle now, or 3 cars now that Zhou's dropped out. Okay, Seb's going to go here. I don't really have the pace or the straight line speed to do this, so we'll let Seb take the race in line, waste the least amount of time possible. And we'll let him crack on.
Okay, information on Bottas. They've got some kind of mechanical problem.
Okay, that's mechanical, so he could be also retiring from the race. We'll see. Still time for a late safety car.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
Going to be a little bit closer than I would have liked in terms of tyre wear. We're going to be pushing the limits, but we should still be okay to make it. Seb's really pushing here, by the way. This is good. Oh, Verstappen's in the pits. Okay. So, if something happens ahead in the next 2 laps, could bring us into play. We just need Leclerc, Magnussen, and I think it's Latifi to just battle like crazy for that P8 position and just lose a load of time. Now Williams is so slippery on the straight. Trying to use battery here to close in on Seb, but he's very rapid. And now he's in full power mode probably. Trying to see.
We've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
First and best if I can close in. Nothing happens though. Oh, that was a horrible exit. Tyres are really letting go now. Big battle ahead though. It's kicking off. But it's a bit too late, I think. No idea. Might win the chicane, to be fair. Either way, we gave it a best shot. Gave it everything. Verstappen's closing. But it's not going to be enough, I don't think. And Seb will hold on. Well, you know what? I'm happy with that. Considering what happened that race, the fact we got so close to a point was great. Never rule us out, that's for sure. But here we go through the final corner, and the race is done. Here in Monza, Verstappen might have a look here, but I think we've got enough. So, yeah, P12.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Well, there we go then, guys. That was the race at Monza. Definitely, you know, not ideal. A shame because, you know, I thought we had a good car, and I actually think we could have got some points. Not maybe because of the pace, but because of just racing IQ and being smart with certain overtakes. Either way, yeah, not ideal. Perez wins, Russell second, and Ocon third. That is a massive, massive kick in the nuts in terms of the championship. Sainz P4, Ricciardo P5 as well. Hamilton 6th, Latifi P7, so Alpine had a massive points haul. And to be fair, it was a pretty big scrap from Latifi up to Ocon for that third place. They were all in a little pack. Albon still has points for Williams as well, and so does Magnussen for Haas. We miss out, along with Seb and Stroll. Verstappen also with the fastest lap. So, yeah, standings-wise, you can see we're 10th again. Ocon re-overtakes us in this time with some margin, as he's 14 points ahead. In the Constructors, though, still 6th, but Alpine now are a big whopping 35 points up the road. So this has now become a hell of a lot more challenging. So I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to get that one back. We'll see. We need upgrades to basically arrive and not foul, and hope for the best. So guys, I'll leave it there. Cheers for watching. Leave a like and subscribe on the episode and onto the channel. F1 23 content drops tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I can't wait. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, a big plug to the members for supporting the channel. Check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Take care. That's goodbye from me.